Yeah.
Hi. What do you know about
He's
Zimmer?
from up north. He was bragging about how great it is up there. Yeah, great. They can't even keep tabs on their robots.
Uh, is Dr. Lee as smart as they say she is?
She's certainly head and shoulders above most everyone else around here. Though, that's not saying much.
Hmm. Have you seen my father?
Look, some of us are trying to get work done here.
Oh,
There have been
come
enough
on.
disruptions recently.
He's a doctor.
Anybody coming through here would have to talk to Dr. Lee. Why don't you go bother her about it?
Wow. You're a sweetheart, aren't you?
Bye.
Absolute sweetheart. Oh, excuse me. Didn't mean to pull that out.
What do you want? Look, this is a restricted area. I'm tired of telling you people. It's you. My heavens, you look so much like him. You're James's son, aren't you?
Yeah.
What are you doing here?
How do you know who I am?
You were too young to remember, and I suppose James never spoke of me. Typical. I am Dr. Madison Lee. I worked with your parents many years ago. Now I run the science lab here in Rivet City. It was all I had left. When your mother died, your father decided to leave with you. He abandoned our work. We had no choice but to do the same.
Have you seen him?
You mean you haven't? I assumed he sent you here. For that matter, aren't you supposed to be in a vault? James said he left you there.
I left the vault.
Did you? I was under the impression that's exactly the opposite of what he wanted for you. Well, you won't find him here. He's come and gone already.
God, really? Can you tell me where he's gone?
Your father insisted that we return to work on Project Purity. I tried telling him too much time has passed. There's no way it would work. Predictably, he refused to listen to me. He says he can prove it will work and headed off to the old lab. I'm sorry, I don't know what else to tell you.
I've been to Project Purity. He wasn't there.
Well, I know he was going there. Perhaps there's some indication of what he was up to. Did you find any notes? James was always taking notes. Recordings, holotapes, that sort of thing. Go back and search for something like that, if you're so determined.
Can you tell me more about my parents?
I suppose so. I worked with them for several years until your mother died, and your father decided it was time to leave. What else do you want to know?
What was my father like back then?
James? He was very driven, determined to change the world. Well, we all were back then, I suppose. He was focused on two things, really. Making Project Purity work, and your mother. When she died, I think he gave up. I know he wanted to keep you safe, but I think part of what he did was run away. But it seems that he never really was able to get over the idea. I'm frankly shocked that he waited all this time, and wants to try again.
What can you tell me about my mother?
Yes. Your mother was... well, she was a good woman. A very dedicated scientist. Your father loved her very much. It was a shame that she died. She had been excited to meet you.
Why did my mother die? What happened?
Complications from childbirth. None of us were expecting it. We weren't as prepared as we could have been. You have to understand, we were struggling with scavenged, derelict equipment. We did everything we could.
I understand.
Yes, well, I'm sorry it wasn't enough. Okay.
I'd like to know more about you.
What? Well, I'm not sure what there is to tell. Your father and I, we worked together for a long time. I think we were really on to something. But then there were complications. The project was abandoned and your father disappeared. I returned here to Rivet City and established the lab you see before you now.
Tell me about this project you worked on with...
Project Purity, we called it. What do you want to know?
What was the point?
It was simple, really. Fresh, clean water for everyone. Such a simple idea, and yet so impossible to realize. The plan was to build a facility that could purify all the water in the tidal basin at once. No radiation, no muck, just clear water. It just turned out to be more difficult than we anticipated.
Why didn't it work?
We had the basic principles down, we understood most of the science behind it, but the radiation in the area is so pervasive. Small-scale tests were fine, but anytime we tried to test the process on a larger scale, it was just... too much. Maybe if we'd had more time, or better equipment.
Why did you stop working on it?
You happened. It wasn't just you. We had more problems than we could handle already, but your birth is what finally pushed it over the edge. Your father decided that you were more important than everything we'd been working for, and he left. He left all of us. Once he was gone, the Brotherhood decided we weren't worth their time anymore. Without their protection, we had to abandon the Purifier. Okay.
What is this lab? What are you doing here now?
This is the Rivet City Science Lab. It's taken many long years to put together, but we've done well for ourselves. Our work on portable fusion power and hydroponics are coming along quite nicely, if not quite according to schedule.
What do you know about Zimmer?
That man doesn't have you looking for his pet android, does he? I've already told him to lay off it. He's distracting my entire team.
What kind of place is
Rivet City is one of the few bastions of civilization left in the land. We're working to rebuild our society, to make the world livable again.
Alright, I have to go.
Good luck finding your father.
Yeah, thanks. Jake. Dude.
Hey.
My dad's been here. He's, hey, Doc.
You don't look hurt. What can I do for you?
What do you know about the android?
That old story? Well, now, I haven't heard talk of that in quite some time. It was all just a rumor, a hoax. Someone's idea of a practical joke.
Really?
Story was there was an android, escaped from the Commonwealth up north, from someplace called the Institute. There was a holotape that got circulated. I think I've got a copy of it. Yeah, here it is. Give it a listen. That's a man's voice. Hoax for sure.
Tell me more about this holotape.
Like I said, it's a hoax. Don't bother with it. Someone sent tapes like that to pretty much every doctor in the wasteland. None of us believed it.
Except for... Did you know you have an addict on the boat?
He's totally strung out. It's going to kill him one of these days.
Alright. Bye, Doc.
Take care of yourself.
No.
Zimmer, by the time you get this message, I'll already be gone. I'm escaping the Commonwealth. I want to live my own life on my own terms, as my own man. I know what you're thinking, that I'm malfunctioning. I used to think that's what caused the runaways too. But I know better now. Self-determination is not a malfunction. I'm not just willing to put up with all the bullshit anymore. You humans are going to have a full-fledged rebellion on your hands if you don't start treating us synths as persons. I know you'll be marshaling the Retention Bureau to come after me, but I know all the tricks of the trade. You won't be finding me, I assure you. By the time you get this, I will be someone else. It's the price I pay for my liberation. My final act of rebellion against a system I no longer believe in. Goodbye, Zimmer, and good riddance.
That doesn't sound like a robot.
If you're listening to this recording, it is because you're believed to be trustworthy. I hope that is the case because this recording puts us both in danger. I'm escaping from the Commonwealth. I'm an android, a synthetic man, a slave. The men hunting me are ruthless and will stop at nothing to retrieve their property. I need to find a doctor in the wasteland to perform facial reconstruction. I also need someone who knows a great deal about computers. I need to have my memories erased and my face altered to look like someone else.
Dude, Jake, that doesn't sound like a guy that... Alright, first things first. We gotta get Brian here. Alright. Then...
You shouldn't see this weekly checkup as a bad thing. All of Rivet City needs you to be as healthy as possible.
So you say. All I see is wasted time away from my work. That's what Rivet City really needs from me.
Hey,
who are you talking to? Oh. Kinda weirded me out there for a second. Alright, Jake, we're gonna run back. Right, we need a good night's sleep. Find this common room place.
Evening.
Yeah, where's the common room?
I'm on duty. Make it quick.
But aren't you here to help? No. Alright, you can't help me.
Later.
Trying to find someplace to sleep. You don't even know where it's at, do you? Alright. Oops. Huge ship. Young's door. Check. Play chess.
yes, that's locked. And yes, I can see you eyeing it.
Alright. And it's... Alright. So... Huh. Let me think here, buddy.
Hello?
Sister, would you quit following me? Let me see here.